Greenpeace is an NGO that raises money in order to help and preserve ecosystems around the world and stop environmental issues. By gaining people's support and donations, as well as making campaigns, they are very successful in resulting problems in the environment. Greenpeace helps solve ocean pollution, deforestation, loss of animals' ecosystems, and climate change, and the destruction of Arctic animals' ecosystems, and toxic pollution problems, just to name a few.
Around the world, lost forests are being logged for timber and pulp, cleared to grow food and destroyed by the impacts of climate change. 4/5 of the forests that once covered almost half the Earth's land surface 8,000 years ago have already been irreplaceably degraded or destroyed. Greenpeace are aiming to slow this process, and it will not only protect our ecosystems and defend rights of the forest communities, but it will also provide one of the quickest and most cost-effective ways to halt climate change. Greenpeace is campaigning for the complete stop of deforestation globally by 2020.
Another major problem that Greenpeace has to tackle is the worldwide pollution of oceans, which contributes to the deaths of many marine animals and the overuse of marine animals for food. One major problem is the overfishing of much of the marine life. Studies show the demand for fish has increased dramatically and that we are killing more fish than those that are being born. Scientists say that if we continue on this path, fish and chips may become a rare delicacy. Instead of trying to find a long-term solution to these problems, the fishing industry's eyes are turning towards the Pacific, but this is not the answer. Politicians continue to ignore the advice of scientists about how these fisheries should be managed and the need to fish these threatened species in a sustainable way. Greenpeace are trying to make campaigns and advertise the dire effects that overfishing can have to the fisheries and politicians.
Another major marine problem is the pollution of oceans. When waste is dumped in the oceans, the marine life is affected and it can have fatal effects. The waste can be mistaken as food. When swallowed, it can either choke the animal or get clogged in its stomach, which leads to death, unfortunately. Oil spills in the ocean can also have fatal effects on the marine life. Oil can make it harder for the animal to swim or fly. When it comes into contact with skin or is swallowed, the toxins will most definitely kill the animal. Greenpeace is trying to stop this act by helping clean up oceans and making advertisements about the effects of pollution of the ocean. They also promote recyclable materials in order to reduce the amount of plastics and non-biodegradable products.
Another environmental problem that Greenpeace acts on is nuclear disasters and pollution. An example of this is the Fukushima nuclear disaster. This example shows us how nuclear reactors can be so deadly. Not one of the Earth's 435 nuclear reactors are immune to human errors, natural disasters, serious incidents that could cause an accident, therefore putting people's lives at risk all over the world. A year after the nuclear accident at Fukushima, Japan, hundreds of people's lives continue to be affected after this fatal disaster. Tens of thousands of families died as a result of the tsunami, and 150,000 people had to flee from their home from radiation contamination. Greenpeace helped in this process by providing people with shelter in the disaster and raising money for them. In conclusion, Greenpeace is a very successful NGO that makes marketing campaigns and gains people's support to help environmental issues all around the world.